Right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Long Beach Lawn Bowling Club. This will be game 3 of the Heidi Rither Australian Pairs tournament that we have here in the Southwest Division for the ladies. There will be this will be the third of 3 games that we're planning on broadcasting. They have 14 end games. The ladies play 2 bowls, then 4 bowls, then 2 bowls. This next game, our last of the day, will be between Billon and Jane Blair versus Rita Greenberg and Wright. And based on the conversation I had with Rita, half the people watching are Greenbergs. And shout out to my friend Tony. Hope you're doing well, my friend. So here in the booth, I have Steve Nemontes on the cameras, Gary Barnes, the man with the plan, chair of the live streaming committee in the Southwest, and I'm Scott Roberts. Talking to myself like always. We're just finishing up the trial end here. Then we'll get started. We had more than a few technical difficulties today. The stream has dropped a couple times, even right before we were ready to go live for the first game. And we've lost one camera completely. So they're playing on rink 1, and this is what we've been broadcasting all day, and you've been finding that it's definitely plays like an edge rink. They've got 14 teams here today, so they're making use of 7 rinks. So there's definitely not an end rink, but it's an edge rink. About a half rink over from the pure end rink. So it definitely is, when you're playing on this ditch hand, it is definitely hangy and hooking when you come across. Not terribly so, but it's definitely noticeable. And especially when you get down to the last 3-4 meters or so. It's that way. So just about to get started here. The trials are all done. So we'll be getting started here momentarily, as I think we're going to have Jane Blair be placing the mat first. While they're getting ready with the mat, I'll do a quick look on the standings to see how these teams are doing today. I don't know if they put in the scores for the second game yet. And they haven't, but Jane and Karen lost their first game. And Rita and Flora lost their first game, but they don't have the second one in, so. All right, Jane's rolled a jack. And we're about ready to get started with our first bowls. All right, here's Jane's first. She's got these light blue bowls. At least in this game we have 4 very distinct colors, so it should be a little bit easier to try and read the head, so that'll be good. A decent opener by Jane. There's Rita Greenberg with her white bowls. Again, I think you'll see, I mean, it's a little less pronounced since we're kind of in the maybe short and medium kind of length, probably more like medium, if anything, maybe just shorter of the mid-range point. So it's not quite as pronounced, but you'll see a lot of bowls kind of in this quadrant going this direction. You'll see a lot of bowls, I think, be on this side of the right side of the head because of the nature of the way it's gone. Jane made a nice little correction with the line. Very good there, but still about 4.5 feet through. Rita's probably still holding shot. Just needs to make a small correction here. See if she can take the yard off. Managed to keep the same distance, come a little narrower, right on the jack. Good position for them. It's a good start. So again, for what we call Australian pairs, but if you're watching from Australia, yeah, that's very much not the way you play pairs, but it's just what we call it here. And so they'll play 2 bowls there, and then they'll cross over, and then the next ladies, Karen and Floor, will play 4 bowls, and then cross over again for Jane and Rita to play their last 2. And then they'll essentially switch, and then it'll be Karen and Floor will play 2, and then 4, and then 2. It's kind of a nice game because everybody gets a chance to kind of play some lead and some skips shots. And being a good team, putting balls in the head, good communication helps. Here's Karen's first. Kind of aggressive. She's kind of got this interesting little 2-3 tone, like greenish red kind of bowls. I'm still trying to figure out what the color is. There's Floor. She's got these 2-tone red blue bowls. She's got pretty good effort here. Yeah, another nice bowl there. That'll make it 2 for them. And Karen can make the adjustment. Coming very heavy. Just trying to come through and see if she can get some action. Either jack or the bowls just missed. But she kept it on the green. My Florida really doesn't want to do much different here. I kind of added a little bit. I don't know if she was trying to necessarily get to the back. Let's see if Karen just kind of is still going to try and stab at this head, or if she's going to get back to a draw. No, looks like she's keeping the pedal to the metal here. Going to have a 3rd bowl in the back, I bet. Oh, got a little piece of the side of the head here. I like to see Floor just kind of add a 3rd, get back to like that first bowl. The back's not really a major concern, I don't think. I'd rather put a lot of pressure on your opponents. And she's got a little heavy, but it should be okay. Just needs a little tick off the white here. Not too much, just a little heavy. Well, they were fine. All right, here's Karen. She's dropped the weight this time, looking more on a draw. It looks like a better effort here. Just coming across the head. Didn't quite make it. It's definitely the 3rd shot, I think, that last one. Floor, I think, wants to get back to that first bowl. That first bowl with a stunner. Just really do that again. I wouldn't be doing anything different. Yes, looks like a pretty good effort here. Just right next to that. Yeah, great bowl by Floor. That should make it 3 for them. And now the ladies, as we said, will cross over again for the final 2 bowls each. All right. Jane's got a kind of a pretty good sized target if she wanted to kind of play this a little weighty. She really can't afford to be short here. I mean, they're down 3, and they do have the position in the back, so she could afford to be a little positive here. Just trying to cut it down at the very least. I mean, short does you no good when you're down. Oh, she kind of just like drove that right into the ground. Let's see if it works out for her. It's starting to come around. Well, that turned out great. She might have got shot out of it. Can't quite tell from the angle. But I mean, that was the goal, was to try and just hit that little pocket between the 3 bulls and the jack, just to hit something. She just happened to hit the inside of the outmost bull. Rita's not afraid of playing this hand. I think she'd want to come off of the last bull delivered, hit the inside half of that. It's just going to be getting hard to get it to turn because of playing this ditch hand. Just they kind of, if they haven't played one of the end drinks before, edge drinks here, essentially, then it's just very different playing this hand than any of the other hands that they've been playing all day. And for the first hand to have this happen, so Jane with a lot of weight here now that she's got one that's close. She got rid of that bull. That worked out really nice for her. Got that one out of the way. Decreases the opportunities that Rita has. Still not sure who's holding between those two. Rita's coming through with some force as well. Really needs to get it to turn, but I just don't think it's going to. All right, ladies will take a look here. See what's what. All right, Jane managed to get shot, so one for Billon and Blair. Take a 1-0 lead over Greenberg and Wright. I like the way that Jane was playing that nice and positive. I mean, that was the play with that head. It was pretty wide target, not a lot of holes in it. Down 3, you really didn't want to be short. You wanted to be up to it, and she played it with the right weight and managed to get a fortunate result out of it. I think she was hoping even just to cut it down to get into it was good, but she got shot. It was the proper play. Oh, surprising, seeing a lot of this. Again, it's with the Australian pairs. You're not like, you don't have a lead that's like rolling the jack, rolling the jack, rolling the jack. You're kind of splitting it, so you're only getting, even if you're minimal, half the time of rolling the jack. So we've seen a lot of jacks that have been, out of bounds, or not too much in the ditch, but a lot of problems with the ladies trying to, even to get the right length, even for some of the ones who were playing it right, were like throwing it too far or too short. I see a lot of invalid jacks, much more than we usually see in a match. Because I think just some of these ladies are just not used to rolling them, and then they're not doing it very often. So, anyways, Floor got that one in, so we're off and running with Karen here. Levy. I'd love to know what you would call the color of those bulls. I'm sure that whatever brand it is says, oh yeah, they're this. Christmas. I don't know. Springtime. And there's Floor's first. Great weight. Good bull. Nice opener there. Let's see Karen make a little adjustment. I think she's switching hands. I'm not sure why, unless she just really doesn't like that hand. There's no need for her to switch. That wasn't in her way. if that was her concern. But with the way she's played that, just didn't have the weight. Again, I think we've seen a little bit of that too, where they switch hands. I mean, that's why you really don't want to switch hands, because sometimes you have to switch the weight, because it's not all hands are made equally, especially when you're playing on an edge rink. And she might have just over-adjusted because she was so far through, 2.5 yards through, and then ended up 1.5 yards short. And the floor just needs a small adjustment. But I think she had to see what she can do here. Not bad. Another good ball by floor. Just a little short, but great road. 1.5 feet. So it's they play 14 ends, but they've been running a little bit longer than the typical because you have the extra crossover. More like it's a pairs game, but it's more like triples with regards to the extra crossover that you have in the match. Or even fours, even more like a fours length, just because of the, using fours, you have the front end, front two, and then the vices, and then the skips. So you have that kind of 3 crossover. So they've been playing a little bit slower than you normally would expect. All right, here's Jane. Down a couple here. And little zesty. I don't think she needs to necessarily be that heavy, but she's got 3 more. I'm curious if Rita's going to play that same forehand here. She's got a couple balls she can work with. There's definitely room to draw in there. Just kind of float it around. And she's trying to come back. Well, she managed to pop in. Can't see because it's right in line with floor. No, there's floor. You kind of pushed that one up a little bit and over. So probably holding 3 right now. There's Jane. Look at that. Drop the weight and just get a nice draw in. Might get an edge. Nope, a little too solid. Might have cut it down to 2. Let's take a little weight off, a little bit more on the draw here on the forehand. Yeah, floor likes it. Looks pretty good. Great ball there by Rita. Yeah, nice toucher. Great shot. Great ball. And Jane can afford to be a little positive, just trying to see if she can either get one of the balls or the jack. Probably still stay on the forehand. And she was able to make this shot in the last hand, something very similar. Yeah, this is a good ball. It just needs to cut this corner. Just coming up short. Yeah, needed to keep the weight. Needed to have a couple feet. I'm looking for Rita to do same thing. Instant replay here. Same kind of ball. Even adding a foot or 2 wouldn't be bad to try and have that kind of carry the corner, drag the jack a little bit would be great. I like that a lot. That's a great ball there. Great ball by Rita. Finishing right behind. Kind of changed the head over. Now there's a lot of holes. If Jane wants to try with Wade, it's almost like that ship sailed. She could easily find either one of those holes now. She's almost has to be more on the draw as opposed to a punching shot. Kind of tried the punch anyways, a little late. Now it's found that gap and go to the back. All right, one last one by Rita. Wants to do something very similar to the last. Just kind of put another one. Just keep that machine running. Stay off of those 2. Inside half is okay. Just a little narrow, maybe a little short. But still some great balls by Rita there. So we tried to tell the ladies about the camera and then knowing it's behind them. So, but I mean, it wouldn't be such a big deal if we had the 4 cameras because we always can shift. But with only 3, it makes it a little harder. So we'll get a little bit of Garita's backside here from time to time. A nice try there by Karen. Karen's got no problem with playing with a little weight. So I think Rita wants one kind of in the front. I think just having one in the head is okay. I'm not a huge fan of trying to set up short like that. I'd rather just say, oh, just kind of draw. Just kind of hung it out a little. Yeah, I got a nice little edge, and that kind of took a good turn to get in there. I think Gary's just like constantly telling Rita something. Somebody said we should get like a cattle prod or like a shock collar to. I think that's Tony Santos said that. No, it's something for the ladies to stay out of it. No, this is not the best by Karen. Yeah, it's just weight's good, but just wow. Well, this is looking like a big end right here for Rita and Floor. And again, they were kind of driving the head the first end and just got saved by Jane making that great shot with the last. And now that Karen was able to duplicate that feat, and now Rita and Floor are going to make them pay. Just Floor just wants to be on the draw, take plenty of grass, get around that wall that you see there. Even to use the inside half, it's okay as long as she's got good weight. There it is right there. Look at that. You see how it rode off that wall and then finished in a perfect spot? Because they had that solid wall that you could use if you happen to be a little narrow. And then just kind of have it hit and then redirect and take the new bias and come around. And wow, this is a massive end here. I mean, I think it's at least 6 that I see on the towel. And Rita being greedy, wanting to get another. But who can blame her? I mean, if you get a chance to get a massive number. And they're all pretty close to the head. They just played it really, really well. 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. Touchdown. Or an over if you're a cricket. I think it's 6 there. For Greenberg and Wright to go up 6-1. Again, over Billon and Blair. Again, they were the ones that have been able to get, and we've seen this pretty much all day, and you'll see it in bowls throughout. Whoever can get the most bowls in the head in the long run will end up winning as long as they can keep doing it. And that's been, true for almost every match I've ever watched. Occasionally somebody will get that one great bowl, like Jane did in the first end, to be able to turn it around to flip the head over. But, I mean, if she didn't make that shot, they were 3 down. But if you constantly putting your opponents under that kind of pressure, it's not always going to work. And eventually you're going to break through and you're going to get a big number like they just did. So Bill and Blair need to start getting some bowls in the head. They've been doing a little bit too much of the stabbing. They're better off just draw, try and build up the heads. That's what's worked for Greenberg and Wright. And for pretty much everybody who's played bowls. All right. We need a kind of pretty long jack here. I think it's just maybe a yard short of the tee, it looks like. Pretty solid opener by Rita. Just a couple feet short. Might even have to force Jane into playing on the forehand here. It's a little bit of the narrow hand. Yeah, here she comes. That's a good opener by Jane. Very good opener. I like this a lot. That's good. Just kind of drifts behind, but solid ball. It's only about a yard through. All right. Read a second. Another good ball here. Yeah, you like that. I like that a couple feet behind. It's good. See if Jane could do something similar with her second, rather. Don't want to You don't want to make the mistake of taking too much off here. You've made a good first bowl, and maybe you're 2.5 feet through. You don't want to overcorrect and come up 3 yards short or anything. Yeah, this is pretty standard to do. A lot of people do this. Come up, she's about 2 yards short with the second. So they'll cross over. In the meantime, as I said at the beginning of the match, I think based on after I had a chat with Rita, and she said, "Oh, I'm texting all my friends and family to make sure they're watching." So I said, I bet half the people who are watching right now are Greenbergs. So hi to the other Greenbergs, especially to my friend Tony. I hope you're doing well, Tony. I've missed you. I haven't seen you in a while, my friend. So I hope you're doing well. I always, when I see Rita, I always make sure to have her say hi for you. Tony's done a lot for this sport over the years. All right, here's Floor. Again, Rita's put them in good position with two good starters. I mean, Rita and Floor are very, very good draw bowlers. Again, another solid ball by Floor. In pretty good position. I mean, he's only like a yard through, but it covers the tee at best back. He's got a good load. Nice one to be a good opener. So Karen, they really need to get the draw going here from these ladies. Yeah, just a little short. I think it might have probably maybe just a yard short at most. Just the line who just kind of hooked at the end. Let's see how Floor could do. Here again, here's the thing. She's about 4 feet through, 5 feet through or so, let's say. Can she make the adjustment, keep the line, drop the 5 feet, and yet not drop 5 yards? Yeah, it just took off a little too much. Again, you just see it a lot where people just kind of, they know they need to make a correction. They make a correction, and traditionally they make it overcorrect. Again, you're better off undercorrecting and just taking off, your 5 feet through, take off a yard, as opposed to that much. And Karen needs to do the opposite correction. She needs to add about a yard. And this looks pretty good here. She can slip that ball. Great ball there by Karen, just what the doctor ordered. Very, very, very nice. Very nice there. What Floor's going to do. Really just kind of wants to get some action on the head. They've got decent position. Really just wants to try and get more like that first weight where she was about 5 feet through, except playing it through the head. She could hit her own, or she could hit the shot bowl. Not far away. Yep, tipped it. That's a great shot. Turned the head over. I don't know if they necessarily lost it. Karen wants to put it right back if she can. Just trying to do the same thing he just did. Needs to turn. Just getting the inside of that bowl. Needs to turn. Even to touch it and move it over. Oh, not bad. Yeah, still got second, 2 there. But there's room to draw now. So good bowls by Karen. She's got a little bit of a couple little stoppers that she can get. Floor here. Just really wants to, she's been drawing pretty well early. Wants to kind of keep doing that if she can. Yeah, just isn't turning for her. Just kind of hanging out straight. You can see that just like a fine line out there on that hand. It just did not come back at all. All right, see if Karen could do it again. What's better than 2? 3. So even if she can just draw to her other two is okay. Just floats around. Pretty good spot there. 3 very good bowls after a short first bowl. 3 very good bowls there by Karen. Turn the head over to make it 2. Yeah, Karen and Jane are relatively new, and they stopped here, but they really shouldn't have because it's Rita's head. So kind of slowing her down. It's a little bit of bad form there, but they'll learn. All right, Rita down a couple. Looking to try and get one in. She's got a bowl in front that she could tip off of. Yeah, just kind of sailing all the way through. Don't mind the weight being a little heavy there. Better that than short when you're down. Jane really would be a good opportunity to try and get another draw. Can just draw to those other 2 bowls. Draw to Karen's bowls would be fine. Really kind of want to not touch floors in front if you can help it. Yeah, just a bit of a blank there. But a little cautious. Rita's trying to, again, really just wants to make a small adjustment. There is room to draw. I mean, anything within 2 feet is shot. Gonna find this gap, little edge, or maybe it'll get. I don't think it's gonna stop there. It's gonna try. Ooh, maybe. That's a pretty good bowl there by Rita. I'm amazed she got it to stop right there. Here's Jane. I don't know if they're holding or not. I think she just was ready to let her rip and was just going to draw anyways. I think you'd want to give it a look to see whether you're down or not, but she's very short with that one. It might even be a measure, but it wouldn't shock me if Rita took it with her last. Well, we'll find out. By the patented long-socked floor right. Yep, Rita had done it with her shot. So one more for Greenberg and Wright, make it 7-1. It's interesting that Jane just kind of went ahead and rolled. I mean, if the head, usually kind of one of the things you want to do when you're communicating is if the head changes, that's definitely a point to say something. I mean, if it's just to pick something, you were 2 down and you say, oh, it's 2 down still. But if it changes and you really want to make sure to communicate to your partner, make them aware that, hey, it's not 2 anymore, it's only 1, or it's 3 now, or geez, we were 2 up and now we're 1 down. You really want to kind of get that information across when it changes. Otherwise, if it doesn't change, there's no point. Especially with the skip or whoever is playing last. So they have an idea of what it is. All right, so 7-1 after 3. We're going to play 14 ends here. Yeah, again, kind of a medium length. Rita and Flora have been drawing very well. Some of the best drawing we've seen on this rink today, early on. Yeah, pretty good opener. Again, maybe just a foot short at most. All right, Karen. Just a little heavy. Pretty good bull though, not bad, good opener. Maybe a yard through. Florida make a correction. Great bull there. A couple feet through. But a good bull. Two good bulls by Fleur. See if Karen can make a slight adjustment here. Not an over adjustment. Is it going to make it all the way? Yeah, nice bull there by Karen to take a shot. Maybe a bull short. All right, here's Rita. She's coming on the forehand here, looking to see if she can take the shot. And pretty good effort, pretty good weight there. Just a little, just not quite enough grass. But yeah, I don't know if James is going to get there. All right. See if Rita could do something similar. Just wants the same weight, just a little more grass. The inside half of that bull is pretty good. It'll come right on the jack. Great bull. Great bull by Rita. Just kind of drug it right back to her other one. And a little bit of jail there. Let's see what Jane's gonna do. I mean, she could try and stay on that wide hand and draw around, or come up the, yeah, she's gonna come up on this narrow hand and see if she can get some action into the head. Either hit the two whites or come underneath and hit the other one. And she got one, got a piece of the head. Pretty good bull there. Still one for, I think Rita's gonna have to switch over. So she kind of plowed into the front white one, which kind of went out of the way, and then followed it, but not all the way in, but enough for second. So here's Rita again, is trying to draw on that hand. Yeah, just kind of overdid it. Again, we're still working with just the three cameras. We're having the issue with the ladies getting in the way. They're still new for them. If we had a fourth camera, we could show that other view. You can just see it in the back. We have one that's just kind of dead that we just couldn't use today. And here's Jane trying to capitalize on first. Nah, that's another good effort. If she could have found that little pocket there, she could come into her own and sit in for a shot, or she could push that one through. Gary's trying to demonstrate that what his head is in the way looks like for the ladies. All right, here's Rita again trying to draw another. Is going to make it all the way around the corner. Got another good bull though, and again another solid bull in the head. I think Jane is probably going to play that same hand, play the backhand here, see if she can get through, play into those two white bulls. Just hanging out. She added the weight and then didn't take the grass off of it, so it sailed to the back. It did stay up. Not sure if it's one or two, but it looks like it's one for Greenberg and Wright right now. The second one's hard to tell from any of the angles. Yeah, Rita seems to think it's 2. Okay, here's 4. I think she's, let's see what she's doing. I think she's going to go on, yeah, she's going on the backhand too. Trying to get both of those in the front of her partner so she can hit into those and push them up. A pretty good weight. She only needed to just tick them, just a little touch. So that's good weight, just kind of float it around. And then trying to do the opposite. I think what they're trying, what Karen and Jane are trying to do is play that same hand, but play it with weight to kind of push them not just in, but out. This is a pretty good effort here by Karen. She's not far away. See, that one's out. So it's definitely just 1 now, so they cut it to 1. So I don't know if so Rita's trying to say, well, let's just come in the front here, and I see the thinking, but they also have that bull that's right behind, so I think they're better off just kind of playing on the draw and playing to and through. It would be okay. Not like a yard through, just a couple feet through. Just shoot that gap, come all the way in, get a second shot. And she's just a little narrow, and as it turns out, because of that, she popped in one of the opponent's bulls up a little bit. Now they're at a point where Karen and Jane have down 1, but they got 3 seconds. And Karen's going to come have a look here. It's interesting because I could see that you could, well, it's going to be hard with that front bull all the way in front of Jane's to try and come on the forehand to see if they can get the combo. They might have to keep coming on the backhand because of it. See if they can hit the white, have it come through clean, and not necessarily tick the jack, because that bull behind is away for them. The bull behind, what you see just short from this angle, it's behind. If you go in line with the jack, just to the right, below, that's away for them. So they don't want the jack to go there. So ladies are also used to standing right by the head, and you could see them just, there's a camera, and it's like, oh no. Gary's yelled at them enough. It might be taking finally, Gary. All right, last bull. And they're down 1 in the head right now. So, and they've got 3 seconds, I believe. I really want to kind of, I think it is going to go on the backhand. See if she can come into it. Nope, she's going forehand. I don't see where she's going to get with this. Yeah, that's... Even to get the edge of that bull, it wasn't going to go in for a shot, so. 1 more for Greenberg and Wright. And now they extend their lead to 8-1. Again, I think they would have been better off playing on the backhand. They could have tried to just hit the edge of that white bull, have it come out sideways, and then sit. And they had the 3 next best. That probably was the best shot, I think. I didn't see what they were going to do in the forehand. The only thing they could have done is gone bull, and then trying to hit that white one out the other way, which is possible, but with that Jane's bull short in front, able to do that with the proper weight. Instead, it would have been a clobber shot, and I don't think that's what they wanted or needed. So, 8-1, Greenberg and Wright after 4 ends in this 14-end match. Australian pairs, 2-4-2. Third game of final game of the day. In remembrance of Long Beach's Heidi Rither, who passed away a few years ago. And their family has sponsored this tournament, and I think a great many of these ladies are playing today knew Heidi. She was a wonderful lady, and she is missed. Oh, solid opener by Rita. You'd prefer her to be a yard behind, but she's 2.5 feet short. Definitely doors open for Jane to get a draw in there. And Jane's pretty heavy and narrow here. There, narrow, very narrow. Not even. It's going to be borderline, I think. Rither just needs to make a, slight adjustment. Just need to add a little weight here. Yeah, another good bowl there by Rither. Good position. She added the weight which she needed to. Finished about 4 feet behind. Let's see Jane have a nice solid bowl here and try and see if she can get one in the head. She switched over to the hand, gave up on that wide hand. She goes the narrow hand and throws a stunner. Great bowl there. That's the hand to play, I guess. That's the one that works for Jane. Very nice. Less than a foot away, touch her. Great bowl. You need to do something or this game's going to get away from them quickly. And it seems like every time they've had a opportunity, either Floor or Rither has just been able to just flip that head right on over. Just they've been getting bowls in the head, more bowls in the head, and then they've had that one. They've been able to make conversions too, and it hasn't just been Floor and it hasn't just been Rither, it's been both of them. Yeah, a little narrow that time. Don't mind the weight, to be in, but just, very narrow. Kara really needs to get a second one. Capitalize on what Jane has given you and get a second one in the head. It's actually Jane's actually in really good position. It's kind of forcing Floor to kind of stab at it. Yeah. A little unlucky, coming a little narrow, but I think it's still just the one. But now you've got another bowl. Now Floor's got another bowl she could work with on the forehand. Yeah, that's what she's going to do. She can just hit the inside half of that. She can push it up. She give the jack a lot of options. Just want to kind of have some action here if she can do it. And this is what I figured might happen, is just kind of giving a little too much respect, especially after playing the other hand and coming way narrow. Then you still kind of have that in your mind, even in the back of your head about, well, I want to make sure I take enough grass. But on that hand, it's kind of narrow and you could take too much. And she switched over. So Karen's probably better off just playing on the backhand here and just trying to ride off of her own and come on in. Don't want to push that white one in. That'd probably be the better play. You got your own, yeah. And Jane's trying to talk her into it, and I think she has. Just want to make sure you take enough grass. She could push that one in. She could come to the second shot. Just need to take the grass and the weight. Short and narrow. I don't know if that's necessarily in Floor's way. I mean, Floor can really get it from either hand. She needs to be, positive anyways. But that last ball might be right in line with what she was trying to do on the forehand. And she's going to try it again, going to the backhand here instead. And I think it's going to be, again, it's going to be narrow on the backhand. And she managed to, that's pretty fortunate. I don't think that was the plan. Was to come cross head, hit your short ball up on that outside edge and flip it all the way in for a shot. I don't think that's what you had in mind, but it's what you got. So Greenberg and Wright, hole in one. Really pretty good draw. Not too bad there. Now it's now the things are holding now. It doesn't want any jack movement or any action. After kind of been stabbing for the last few, now they really need another bull in the head. Right, reasonable position. Actually, Flora actually did play that hand. It's just kind of odd how she kind of got to it and pushed it up. There's a nice try here by... Oh, that's a good bull by Karen. Might have taken a shot out of it. That's really well done there. And just, I love that control. Just that nice little controlled weight. Arriving, not, throwing by the seat of your pants. And just playing a nice little positive shot. Just trying to get some action. And to get some movement because you were down and the head was not in your favor. Now you've definitely opened it up at the very least and not gotten shot out of it. Regis not sparing the horses here. Oh, a little unlucky there. I mean, I don't think she really needs to come with all kinds of weight, and then she managed to flip that one sideways. They could be 2 down now. Jane should probably just be thinking of the draw here. Doesn't need to change anything around. Yeah, a little narrow. Oh, managed to get it. Might have turned that one in for a shot. Didn't quite see what Floor said. I think there maybe just one. That one that Rita accidentally tipped in might be shot. Well, Rita's not sparing the horses. She's trying it again. In for a penny. And she got that front one. All right, looks like Karen and Jane are probably going to get on the board again. They got one more to come. 2 and a measure. They're talking like, what should I do? Well, just draw again. Just be careful. It's just really dicey on either hand. I think you'd be better off playing on the backhand and just having it come across the head. Well, it is kind of dicey anyway. And just the kind of shot, it's like, look, it's okay to finish a foot or 2 short on this one because you really need to come in. This is a great bowl here. Really nice by Jane. Don't know if it got in or not, but that's kind of the thing you wanted to do. So they're going to score some more, and let's see what happens. 2 are out. Oh, and I think just as they were eyeballing it, Jane's was hanging in, and then it fell over. And because it was the bowl that was delivered and it hadn't been 30 seconds, they hadn't started measuring, then the fact that it fell over as it stays where it is fell over. Definitely 3. Now it's whether this 4th one is in. 4 it is. Great end for Billon and Blair to take a big chunk of the lead away. It's cutting it to 8-5 after 5 ends. Again, I think Rita might have been better served by just trying to be a little bit more on the draw, a little less power on it. And she was kind of working against herself and kicking bulls in for the opponent when you really didn't need to. You know, when you're up 8-1, you really just want to try and cut it to 1 if you can, and just go with that route. She does have nice weighted shots, but you know, again, it's a little bit of a tricky rink and two very different hands, and there was definitely some danger, and she just happened to find it. And I don't know, I think it's sometimes the shot that people need to learn more or make use is that just the kind of overweight shot, not a full-on, you know, ditch weight, just a yard or two through. And I think those are the kind of shots that would have helped her in that situation instead. Something you got a little bit more control over, something more of a draw. But all right, see if Karen can reproduce her last, and she had quite a few good bowls in the head there. And just a little narrow. And probably a good 5 feet, 2 yards short. Not what you really want in an opener. Yeah, see now, floor's a little heavy. You know, she's about 3 yards through, but I think I'd rather have that bowl than I would the first bowl, just because jacks don't go forward. See if both of these ladies can make the correction. Karen first. It's like a pretty good one here. Yeah, very nice adjustment. Good bowl there. Yeah, floor with the adjustment on the weight, but kind of lost her line a little bit. All right, here's Jay. They're holding 1. Nice bull here. Very, very good. Great bull there. Hit a bull in the head and got a stunner. Now Rita, her style would be to kind of stab at this a little bit. Yeah, that's good. Oh, look at that thing. Wow. That went dead sideways after the action, after hitting that bull. Almost like she got a remote control. That wouldn't shock me. I've seen Rita do that enough. I bet she does have a remote on her bulls. Jane wants to kind of do something similar. We're going to play it up and through since she, yeah, probably a good way. Just kind of missed the line. Now Reed is holding. Now she should just be kind of on the draw. I'm just trying to hit the inside of the blue bull's okay, or just tapping her own. Just something on the draw. Well, that's a little too heavy. Yeah, it just kind of knocked herself out. Now she's down 1. Just not what she wanted to do there. I mean, one thing if you were a couple feet heavy and she was a couple yards heavy, that's a bit too much. Oh, now what, Rita? I'm wondering if you're going to try and pow into it again and see if there's a bull and a jack there. So no point in being short for sure. Yeah, see, I don't mind this. Just kind of like a jack or bull shot. And that's kind of the proper way now. But it was really delicate before she moved it. Okay, back to Jane. Just really wants to try and get a second one in the head. It's just really kind of a lonely little bull there. And this is not it. Not even a block of any kind. It wouldn't shock me if Rita tried to stab again. There it is. Boom. I think she got shot out of it. Rita's very good at that shot, sometimes to her own detriment. Sometimes I don't think it's the shot that's warranted, but you give her a few shots, a few attempts at it, she's going to get it eventually. And that was the proper play after she moved her own. Then it was a proper play to do, probably. She had a couple seconds, so she could afford to mess with it, so I think they're happy to be holding one, probably. Now it's just a draw off center. I would really like to see Karen take her time, make sure you get the line right. You know, it's your off center jack. You have to make sure that you get your best guess on what you think the line will be here. I think she was pretty good on the line, just was about 3 yards through. Now Flora, the same thing. All right, Flora's ready to go here, looking to draw. Pretty sure they're holding one, looking to get a second. Again, there's a lot of room to draw there. It's at least, probably a yard, just that it's an off-center jack in a noob spot, so. And a little heavy now. Let's see if both these ladies can make the adjustment. Karen had the line, just needs to take some weight off. Just trying, just coming a little narrow. Oh, managed to tip her own. Oh, it just floated through. Don't know if it got in for shot. Rita's having a look. Hard to say. She didn't really give anything. I don't think it may be a measure, let's say, one way or the other, but Flora just got to try and draw around that bull. All right, last bull of the end here. Yeah, Flora can make the correction. Trying very hard here. Rita wishing it to stop, trying to deploy the chute. Just a little too heavy. Based on the first looks, it looks like it's Blair and Billon. Yep, one for Blair and Billon. They score again. It's a nice try but I think that little tip in from that last bowl from Karen was enough to push it in for shot. So they cut another stroke out of it. So it's Greenberg Wright 8, Billon Blair 6 after 6. And a match for 14 ends. And we got Steve Narmontis on the cameras, Gary Barnes on the switcher, and I'm Scott Roberts. So thanks to John Billon and Sheila Conti for their help with their setup, and Long Beach for hosting this Heidi Rither Memorial Australian Pairs tournament today. Playing 3 14-end games. I think there's a couple 2-0 teams out there. Neither one of these teams is. All right, kind of a shorter jack. I think the mat's up just a hair. Say short, medium. All right, Jane's first. Again, with the, I would expect everybody to be a little bit long with this first one. We haven't really done anything too short. Jane's through by a healthy couple yards. Rither with a very, very nice opener here. And that's a great ball. No more than a foot through. I'm actually sitting jack high. See if Jane can make the correction. She had a pretty good row. Just needs to drop a little weight. This looks like a good adjustment. Yeah, pretty good effort there. Rither looking to do something very similar. Don't want to change anything off of that. Take bowls like that all day long. Nothing wrong with this at all. Another good bowl, holding two great bowls there by Rither. Right. I think it's not really favoring anything but just a draw here. Even just a draw within 2.5 feet to get second shot would be pretty good for Karen here. Just really, I think that's the proper play, is to get some balls in the head. Just really needs to turn. Pretty good weight. Pretty good weight there. She's right in line with Rither's bowl. Weight-wise, just maybe a foot at most through. And here's floor. I think she's wondering, why doesn't this bowl turn? Floor's about a foot short. Pretty good weight. Again, they both kind of missed the line. Like to see their adjustments here. Pretty good by Karen, just not turning. And again, that's almost jack high there. Similar weight here by floor would be fine. It's just little less grass. She's added some weight here. If she can hit Karen's, it'd be all right. Nope. It gets a little too much. Karen's got a good one here. This is promising. Just a little more. Oh, it's a great bowl. Might have taken it. It's very close. Yeah. We just got a good look and just one down. Great bowl by Karen there. I think floor might be crossing over. Going to the backhand. See if you can be a little positive and just kind of jack or bowl-ish. Just make sure that you're arriving, hit the inside half of that bowl. Yeah. Karen, I think you just want to do the same thing, play the same hand. Or just a little too narrow. Karen wants just do the same thing. Don't change a thing. It's a little heavier this time, I think. Definitely a little heavier. What's it going to do? Kind of put it in no man's land there. Not exactly sure who's holding, but they were in pretty good position before, and now she kind of overdid it and kind of pushed it all the way through the head. Now it's fork switching, staying with the backhand, which she just switched over to the do, and she wants almost the same weight that she did before, just taking a lot more grass now, and now it's a draw as opposed to a kind of a chop shot. Just missed. Yeah, it's like she overdid it. Really, she needed to play the same weight as the last one. I mean, her bowl would be shot with the weight that you see way over to the left of the screen. It's almost, exactly where the jack is. Be probably jack low. As it is now, it's probably a measure between these two bowls, with 2 to come here for each of them. Right, here's Jane looking to draw. I think she's very short here. Rita. Just come up a little narrow. Wow, I managed to make it through everything. Pretty good weight as it turns out. Like a little bit better delivery from Jane there. Let's see if she's going to make it all the way. I think she's still short. Still a couple yards short there. Rita had good weight. She just needed to get the line, see if she can do it and break this measure. Last bowl of the end. Might do it. I don't know. Now it's going to be 3-way measure. I think it's probably in. I think she probably did it. Yeah, that's definitely one there. Managed to pop her own up in. Now we'll measure for the second. Three. So Greenberg and Wright get 3 there. 11-6. Kind of, again, a mistake by Karen. She had drawn the shot and then just came in way too heavy trying to follow up her draw and knocked the jack back into an unfavorable position for her team. And then Jane couldn't get it in there to cut it down. All right, we're halfway done with this match. 11-6, Greenberg Wright over Billon and Blair. Again, we got another iffy jack here. Trying to go with my headphones and sunglasses is too much. It's compressing my head. Tony, make sure that you're... I hope you're happy getting a lot of good shots of Rita's backside here. Yeah, just the ladies are always trained, especially the ladies are trained to just make sure that you're staying in position behind the head and being encouraging for your teammate, but it doesn't do well for our camera. Especially, I mean, and we could work around it if we had 4, but we only have the 3, so we don't have the option of trying to move around. All right, first bowl from floor is jack high, and Karen's is right in line, but maybe 2.5 feet short. And floor looking to keep the same weight and just take the extra grass here. Like a pretty good adjustment. Is it going to stay just right around that bowl? Nice bowl by floor. Nice correction. Karen's second. Just needs to add a little weight. Just needs, probably thinking add a yard would be good. Keep that same road. Got to add the yard though. Yeah, kind of took off a couple feet if anything. Might be a little gun shy after the last end. It's kind of natural. Just kind of uncorked one and turned the head over, and not in a good way. All right, here's Rita. Just looking to draw all the way around here. Not a bad opener. Couple yards through, that's okay. Let's see if Jane's going to go that same hand and play it all the way around. It is pretty open. No, it looks like she's going to come backhand here. Trying to see if she can move some things around. Not really much of a draw line here. Get a couple edges here. Yeah, look at that. That's well done. That's well done. Played that very nicely right through the little gap with no fear, and hit the inside half of that bowl and sat right down next to it. That's a great shot by Jane. Rita trying to take a little weight off. Not much. And just overcorrected a little too much off. All right, Jane, great shot. What are you going to do for an encore here? I don't know if I'd be playing the... Yeah, she's going over to the forehand now. Just a nice clean draw all the way around. Make sure you take the grass. Go around those front 2 bowls. Nope. Yeah. Interesting to see how people, it's like they're down, you want to be up, okay, but then rather than just sticking with the same kind of weight and just kind of an over adjustment or fear. Ready to looking to have a jacker ball shot. Just needs to come around this corner, hit the inside half of that and come in. Didn't quite make it. But she's got a couple to work with. Those 2 in front are both Ritas now, so that's something that Jane will have to worry about. She really doesn't want to promote them. Karen's trying to say, why don't you come all the way around? You just really don't want to. The place to miss here is high. You don't want to take. You can't touch those 2 white bowls. You cannot be narrow here. Might have worked out by being too narrow. Being way narrow, and she might have got a second shot in there. So instead of playing around, she played under those bowls. There's Rita. think she's looking for the promotion on either one of those two or hitting one of those bowls. She might, no, outside half of that. Yeah. Again, none of them, they haven't been taking the enough grass. Now here's a question again now for Jane. Is she going to try and go all the way around or do the same thing and come under again? And she's going to switch hands. I think she's going to try and shoot this gap that she did before to get shot initially. Probably is the best play. It's probably the safest play. I mean, she played it really well the first time. Just needs to try and really not do anything different. Almost. Yep, she might have got it in there. It's pretty close anyways. It would have been clean if she didn't touch that bowl. So it was a nice try anyways. I wonder what Floor's going to do her. I could see her coming on the forehand and trying to promote those two bowls that she has in front. Really not a whole lot of profit to be made. I mean, if you're going to play the backhand like Jane was, then it's got to be like a chop lie where you're hitting it, hit and stay. You hit the bowls with a solid yard to push it out, and then your bowl stays. But I think she's going to go in the forehand here and try and do the promotion. Yeah, this is not sparing any horses here. And she's very narrow. She might have got one out of there just because of the redirect. Got pretty fortunate. She didn't hit the target. She wasn't very close, but got a nice little bounce. And Karen's going to go in the backhand trying to duplicate what Jane was doing and float her around that front bowl. Just on the nice little draw here. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Yeah, that's real nice there by Karen. Really nice. And Floor's going to have to hit the target, try and get between these two white bowls into the target bowl here. Yeah, she's just very narrow. Just not very close at all. Almost very similar to what you did with the first one. I think it's looks like 2 now for Billon and Blair, the killer bees here. Wants to try and do something similar, just like her last one. Nothing different. Have it float around underneath, get inside that bowl. Might have rocked all the way in, we'll see. Just the 2. But it is 2 for Billon and Blair. So they'll cut into the lead again to make it 11-8 after 8. So 8 ends and both teams have won 4 of them. But that 6 by Greenberg and Wright in the second end is really the thing that's been holding up. They got a 6 and a 3. We'll have 6 ends to go here. And Jane's kind of pitched this one off a little to the right. I would like to see if it's in. It's interesting. I'm just it's making me want to look at it. Is with Australian pairs in general, this style of 2-4-2 where it's not just 2 people, the lead for each team rolling the jack. You've got everybody essentially in the game rolling jacks, and not every end or every other end, or whether they're just seem to be. We've been having all kinds of problems of people putting the. So they've had both lead, quote unquote, leads on this end have pitched the jack out of bounds. So it goes on the tee, and then the team with the mat can put it wherever they want to. The team that's first and has had the mat first gets to put it wherever they want. but the jack, as you can see, is on the tee. So they could bring it all the way up to the hog line. They could keep it in the tee, or obviously anywhere in between. So it's distance you want. Doesn't happen all that often, but it happens. All right, so Jane's now moved the mat up a little bit, and we're going to go to the tee here. Pretty good bowl. This may be a yard through, 4 feet, just off the screen. There's Rita, see if you can make it all the way. Again, it's a little dicey when you're trying to bowl to the tee here. So she's a couple yards short. Jane probably doesn't want to change much. Just a yard through, and again, it's on the kind of that downslope right there. Everything's falling off into the ditch. Yeah, she's taking a lot of weight off here. All right. Let's see if Rita can just, probably think the thought it would have been just add a yard. I think she maybe will get saved by the plinth here. No, too much. All right, they'll cross over. For those of you joining us, appreciate you joining us. If you're enjoying the coverage, hopefully we're hoping that you could subscribe if you haven't done so already. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps us out. It makes us more attractive for potential sponsors, and keeps us to be able to have our high-tech equipment, be able to replace anything that goes bad, so we can keep bringing you the coverage. Hopefully we can get our 4th camera to work again, and it's nothing catastrophic. And I think our next broadcast is next week. All right, so here's Karen. A lot of room to draw. Pretty good weight there. All right, see what Flora's got here. And just a little, yeah. A couple yards short, 3 yards short probably there. Karen had the weight, just small correction on the line. Should be good to go here. Already holding 2. Yeah, pretty good bowl there, holding 3 now. Flora really needs to get one in the head here. I mean, there's a lot of room to draw, but I don't know if that's going to last end after end. The tendency will be to add too much weight here and go all the way in the ditch. Well, she hit her own. It kind of worked for her. Still think she might be down 3. But it might be yeah, it's forcing Karen to switch hands though. Coming to the forehand now. Yeah. All right. Really could could use this nice little gap here. She can, yeah, Flora doesn't like it. I think she's overcooked it again and missed the line. And just getting to the corner. Oh, I managed to stay on because of the plinth. It just barely stayed on the green. Karen's going to try again. See if she can get it right. I think she's pretty heavy too. It's probably going to stay. Let's see. It's going to be close. Nope, in it went. Fuller's last one. She's been very heavy with every... After that first short one, she's been very heavy after. Just relax and just have a nice draw. Well, I think she's overcooked this one too. This one's very steamy. Yep, all the way in. It happens sometimes where you see I think you just get wired and you see that jack on the 2 meters. And I don't know, it just seems to mess with people. I think she was thinking, that was almost like an end-to-end delivery. After the first one was very short, and then after that she just kind of plowed 3 of them. Looks like it's 3 for Billon and Blair right now with 2 bulls left each. And then I think I think Jane's going to be going forehand here. Yeah, a couple yards short, but also maybe in the way. But there's a lot of room still for Rither to draw. Really needs to kind of get this right, though. The weight's the important thing. That's the thing that's really been the bugaboo. It's a pretty decent effort here. Inside half of that would be, oh, she got a little touch. Look at that. Just a little touch on it to slow it down and take shot. That's a great bull by Rither. Good weight, maybe just a touch heavy, but just touching that bull was enough to slow it down. So that would have been interesting without the little nick, but it's enough to get shot. Jane really needs to make something happen here too. That's a nice try. Now Rither holding, so you want to be careful and don't want to push anything in because there's a lot of danger all the way around. I think she's better off just... They're trying to talk. She wants to know which one's which and what's away. And really, I think you just want to take the clean draw. Stay away from all the other bulls. Just draw weight. Don't be ditch weight. Oh, this is hefty. I wonder if she's going to try and promote her own here in front. And she got a piece of it. Didn't quite push it in. Just the one. But they did get one. That was looking interesting for Billon and Blair were looking like they were holding 3 before that, I think. But 1 for Rither and Greenberg and for Wright to make it 12-8 after 9 ends. Five ends to go. Looking at Gary, I think our next broadcast is next Saturday, if I recall. I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what the event is.
Well, 3 of our people are playing in it, so.
Oh, we may not be doing it. So I think maybe that's why we're doing this. We couldn't do it last week because we had the rain that happened. So we were scheduled to do the women's Cal 5s, which was last Saturday, but we had a series of rainstorms come through here in the southwest, and on Friday, even the day before, it had rained. Kind of a heavy drizzle, light rain for most of the day, and so The greens ended up being, they did a great job at the Laguna Beach, and the greens were great to play on, but it was kind of wet all the way around, and we didn't want to risk any of our equipment here. So we decided to beg off of streaming last week. So we're giving you this week instead, which we weren't planning on doing. All right, great first bowl by Floor. Nice toucher. One of the best first bowls we've seen all day. Karen probably should be thinking like a jack or bull shot, just something a yard, just playing up and into and through. This is a pretty good effort here. I like this a lot. This is a good bowl. Solid second shot. I would prefer an extra yard there, but still, it's a good opener. There's nothing wrong with that. She's a couple feet short at most. Floor just wants to do it again. In fact, it'd be great if she could turn the corner, add a foot or two, and just kind of tuck the jack behind. Nothing wrong with that. Some people get one close and then get afraid and want to be worried about it. It's like, oh, I don't want to break it. So you're better off being the one breaking it yourself as opposed to somebody else, and just kind of gently touching it. Karen's going to try again. Same hand. Just going to add a yard. Yeah, just kind of came up off on it. I think she pumped up a little bit. Didn't get really down and through that, and then Floor just put one in the back, which is not terrible. Let's see if what Rither could do. This is a good bowl here. I like this. Just floating around behind, staying positive. All right, there's Jane. I think this is set up again for a nice little jack or bowl shot, which is one I think Karen should have been playing. Pretty good bowl here by Jane. Not bad. Nice little draw. Karen trying to will it over. No, it should be coming right after that bowl, the last one delivered. And she's going to hit their own and sit right there, get a little closer. It's actually a pretty good shot there. That's the kind of thing I was thinking for Floor could have done. Jane, I think, really wants to do the same kind of thing. Just come a little bit narrower and just trying to hit either the jack or the bull. They don't have anything behind. Karen didn't get through the head. And again, that's why it would help if you wanted to play these jack or bull shots. If you have bulls behind, then it helps out. And again, they got 3 short bowls by Billon and Blair. Have 3 of their 4 bowls are short. And it's just not helping the cause. And it just frees everything up for Rither and Floor. They can be positive. They can play through the head because they got all the position. Just coming up narrow. Weight's okay. Jane really needs to be through this head. She's going to switch over. She played this backhand really well here. So I think she's going to try it again. I don't think it's necessarily the best shot, but she's got a couple that she can play into. It's maybe going to help her free up the swing. Yeah, look at that. She just seems really deadly on that backhand there, playing with weight, and showed it right there too. So Jack dragged all the way to the back here. All right, see if Jane can get something over there. She really just almost can think it's like doing the same shot, but she's come narrow and hits her own. We're all trying to find the jack at the camera. I thought it'd be behind it. Maybe pan it over to the left. It's like a hidden ball trick.
Yeah.
All right. Meantime, they've crossed over, and here's Floor trying to see if she can get a draw. Pretty sure Jane is holding one. There's the jack. See, I thought it was over to the left. We can't see the jack where it ended up from where we are right now, but now we got Steve on us. Here's Karen. They really could use an extra point here. They could take advantage of this. They've gotten one after a great shot by Jane. A nice little push shot here. See if she can draw one in. Just, again, narrow. I mean, they're playing, that's where the jack was. I mean, that's the center line. The jack's off center. So need to take the extra grass. They've both kind of done it. All right, last ball by Floor. I don't know if she's got enough here. I think she's pretty short. And she knows it. All right, there's a chance to get a bonus here. Anything within a yard gets you another point here, Karen. Not a lot of danger. She's giving it a good ride here, trying. Just couldn't get it to stop. Just a little too much. Probably about a yard too much there. And one more for the Killer Bees. Keep seeming to score in that way. We keep trading punches here. It's 12-9 after 10, 4 ends to go. Pretty good match. I think on the whole we've seen that Greenberg and Wright have been kind of drawing a little bit better. And Billon and especially Jane a couple times now have made some good conversions with some weighty shots that have been taking the jack back. And they haven't been worth as much because they haven't been setting up the back. They've been kind of with the draws, been a little short to start with, as opposed to drawing behind the head and coming to it. And then when they have those little stabs, instead of being good for one, I mean, it could be good for 3 or 4, but the bull that they've delivered has been the only one that's been in the back, and they've been lucky enough to stay with it. I've also had some jacks that have been going out of bounds, as we're kind of having issues with it, keeping it straight, but we got this one in, as you can see, a couple feet in front of the tee, so we're going to have a long one here. So Greenberg and Wright up 12-9 with Billon and Blair with 4 ends to go. All right, see if really like to, after you score, to just have an absolute stunner. See what Jane can do here. Pretty good opener by Jane. Pretty good opener. All right, here's Rita. I don't think she's got the mustard. Yeah, it's a couple yards short and missed the line. I like to see Jane keep this weight. Regardless of whether she adjusts the line or not, I really like to see her keep this weight that she did on the first one. That's the part. Can you just adjust one thing? Yeah, that's pretty good. Really good there by Jane. I like that. That's very good by her. All right, now Rita needs to add a couple yards. And she's added several yards and into the ditch. So Jane with a great start, but still room to draw for floor. All right, still lots of room to draw for all the ladies. And it's very short by Garen here. It's a healthy 3.5 yards at least. All right, here's floor. Is she gonna make it? Looks like a pretty good road. Not a bad opener. Needs another yard, 4 feet. Karen really needs to get into this one. It's a big adjustment required here. Not too bad. It's pretty solid. Got a piece of the jack. Made it in. Wow, got good position out of it. Knocked the jack right over to Jane's. Made that very tough to get to. Floor needs to add at least a yard here. Try and hit her own or to get to that bowl. Got a piece of her own. I kind of hit it the wrong way. It kind of got out of the way, so I think they can just try and draw for, make sure they get a close second. It's going to be very tough to try and turn this head over. Karen just wants to probably just drop a yard. I would think the same thing and just think drop a yard. I think she almost went to the same weight, and she doesn't have anything to hit this time, so into the ditch. Four, I think would be better served to just be thinking a draw here, as opposed to like a stab at it. I just don't want this to get away from you. Just want it to be one. And she hit Karen's, but then ended up trickling all the way into the ditch. Again, just a little too much. You really need to kind of keep it in the ballpark here. Karen giving another go. Again, just wants to just snuggle it up there, get a nice solid second. This looks pretty good here. That's a great ball. Exactly what you wanted. Very, very nice. It has made a little bit of a bigger target for floor. And it's kind of the shot she's been playing is just kind of stabbing at it. Just wants to kind of rest in that pocket if she can help it. Yeah. Better weight control. She kept it on the green at least that time. That's the kind of weight that you want. You just want to have it arriving positive, but not, playing it into the ditch so you don't lose your ball. And that way at least you get a back ball out of it, if nothing else. They're down, I'm pretty sure. It looks like 3 right now. With the last 2 bowls to go. And again, it's been trading like this. It's been interesting because it seems like one of the teams has been kind of having a commanding lead. Ever since the 5th end, they've been having somebody's had 2 or 3, and then somebody makes this stab and gets paid off. Sometimes it's Jane, sometimes it's Rita. I think it's been all 4 of the ladies have done it once. Right now, Jane's just looking to try and draw another one into this head. Make it all the way down there. And she had two really good opening bowls. And I don't know if it's enough. It might be. Again, they don't have anything particularly close. That's what Rita kind of needs to get. I mean, that bowl, I think it might even be in the count. It's close at the very least. Rita can just get one within 5 feet and it'll be third shot at least. Just needs to slip past this blue. That'll help her. Help the cause. Yeah. Very good bowl there. Cut it to 2. That's well done. Jane's got a pretty nice road. She just needs to kind of add a yard, 4 feet or so. Giving it a good look. Is it going to just slip her own? Yes. Is it going to make it in? Yes, it is. That's 3. All right. Good bowls there. I'm pretty sure that's 3. Now Rita's put to the test with their last, down 3. Looks like she's going to go for the stab. It's just, she is not holding back. Just will it get through everything? Hits her own. Drift around. Don't know if it stayed in or not based on the kind of the angles. It's at least 2. I think 3's. Looks like it's 3. 3 it is for Billon and Blair to square the match at 12. 12-12 after 11. All right. 3 ends to go. And Billon and Blair, after being down 8-1 after 4, have now made their way all the way back to squaring this match at 12 with 3 ends to go. All right, let's see if Karen can capitalize on having the mat length set to what they want. Looks like a pretty good opener. That's a great shot. That's capitalizing on the opener. That's picking the distance you want and just throwing an absolute dart. They've been the ones that have been playing the best over the last few ends. They're the ones getting the bowls in the head, and they've been the ones that have been being able to collect. And now the shoe's on the other foot, and it's Rither and Floor have been quick to stab at it. And both teams have been kind of playing the same way. It's like one team's been kind of filling the head, and the other team's then been forced to stab, and it's just a question of whether they hit it or not. And they've all had their opportunities where they've hit it, and they converted it to 1, and they've all had their opportunities where they missed and given up a 6 or a 4 or a 3 like that one last end. All right. Let's see if Karen can do it again. You'd really like to be playing through this again. Just tuck it around, get behind, because it's set up for somebody to play a jack or bull shot. So you'd really want to be behind there. But she's come up about 4 feet short. See, now if Floor happens to hit the jack, now she'll have 2 with, unopposed. All right, so here's Floor. Just kind of hanging on that hand. And you can see the attempt to stab, and she's getting behind. I mean, they're down 2, but they got some good position there, so. And if you're Billon and Blair, Karen and Jay, and you got to feel good, you're down a fair amount, and now you've been playing pretty well and getting some good bulls in the head. So if I'm Jane, I'd like to put something, either just say to heck with it and just put it on the tee, or just try and do the draw and just a slight overdraw, just drawing through the head a little bit and try and maybe tuck that jack around behind. Just kind of putting it away so it's hard to see, or at the very least just kind of missing it by a foot or 2. This looks really nice by Jane. Yeah, that's really, really well done. Very, very good. Just what the doctor ordered. Now Rita can make a great shot and do a jack or bull shot and potentially hit the jack, and it'll pop into that, and then you don't get paid for it. But she's giving it a shot here. She's close. Oh, just missed. So you can see that Karen and Jane have now been putting the bulls in the head, and now it's Rita and Flora have been stabbing. And Karen is calling for one in front, and I disagree strongly with that, because then you're just giving somebody a winger that you can hit that bull and then wick off. You're better off just doing the same thing you just did. Right behind. So it's going to increase the chance that you're able to do something. Don't assume that they're going to make the shot. Even to hit the jack is good. Yeah, it's a good shot. I mean, it's a good bull, but you made the target a little bit bigger for them. And you know they're going to probably just keep on stabbing. It's just kind of been the way this game's gone. Yeah, read it. Yeah, a little bit more of a controlled. You could see it's just a yard over. She just kind of missed the line. But that's, I think, the proper weight and shot to play. Again, Jane, I think the ladies are holding 4 right now. They're better off just trying to do it again. Put another bull in the head. Arriving on those bulls. Even if you tick the jack, just a little touch on it is good. Yeah, another good bull. Again, also, but making the target a little bit bigger for Rita. You'd be better served if you were a couple feet behind there. It's almost 3 bulls in a row and the jack. And here she comes. Just missed. And everything's still alive in the back. So Jane's gonna just do it again, or I mean, you could just put this match away right here. I mean, they're holding 5. And then this will be 6. You've rolled 6 bulls and you're holding 6. Another good bull. 4 really, really good bulls by Jane. But again, each one made the head a little bit wider, And Rita's just going to keep on stabbing. And she's probably going to hit it this time. Just what she's going to hit. Now, see, this is why I don't like putting a back ball, because now you've got a back ball. Because Rita just gave you one by pumping it all the way back. Now they're back covered. It's pretty much went all the way back to the tee. Some people would say, well, get a back ball in. Okay, I understand. But a lot of times that happens, that very thing, where somebody stabs, they hit your bull, one of the bulls in the head, and it goes all the way back and gives you the back ball without you having to put one in there. So, and that's what's happened here. Now Karen and Jane are holding 4 at the moment. They do have a back bull that's right in the middle of the triangle that they had. I think I'd be just putting another one in the head here. All right, so Karen's, I think, going to opt to play her little block that she was thinking. But again, it's difficult to do, and it's, if anything, she's given a wing because she's finished narrow and short. If anything, she's given a wing to Flora. If Flora happened to come narrow across the head and go, oh man, I missed. Now she'll get the inside half of that bull, and it could redirect it right back into the head for her. Floor really wants to be up and through and into this head. She's not far away. She's going to hit part of it. Oh, got a little unlucky moving the jack, but a great bowl by Floor to cut it down. But again, because of Jane's good position that she had behind, now the jack with the slight movement there has made it two and a measure, yeah, because the position that she had. And again, because Rita had missed, but not by much with some of hers, and that's what's caused it to be still in the hunt there. Karen again, I think she'd be better served to just kind of just play into those bowls. There's not a lot of danger there. Instead, she's opted to kind of just put some kind of non-blocker block, it looks like. All right, Floor's going to try it again. See if she's going to try and get a little stab in here. See if she can hit to the inside of that bowl. She's not far away. Oh, she hit part of the head. Might have cut it to one. Just one, yeah. Great bowl by Floor. But Karen and Jane get another point and take their first lead of the game since the first end to go up 13-12 after 12 with 2 ends to go. Just a lot of people, I think, are just, putting in blocks, and I think it would better serve to just put another bowl in the head. There wasn't a lot of danger there. Just do a nice little draw. It's better than coming up like 3 yards short and being off center and just giving somebody something to wick off of. And if you've got the skill to be able to put in a block exactly where you want, then you've got the skill to be able to put in a draw exactly where you want. All right, 2 ends to go. Karen and Jane have won the last 3 ends. And 6 out of the last 8. After going down 8-1 after 4, they've now taken the lead 13-12 after 12 ends. 2 ends to go. A lot of it has been this first bowl. Last few ends, both Jane and Karen have just put in an absolute dagger with their first bowl, and it has started the stab train from Rita and Floor. And here's another good start by Jane. It's really been the difference. They've really started off well. It's almost been a case of whoever's got there first. And the last several ends, it's been Karen and Jane. And usually it's been whoever's been bowling first. Kind of got a little short medium jack here. It's a little bit different. And both ladies are about 2.5 feet short here. Both of them would be well served to just add a yard, finish right behind the jack. Yeah, not what you want there. I think you're better off. She would have better off switching hands and just come all the way around. I think Rita just needs to, add a yard on the last one. See if she can push her own, or come right through the gap. Yeah, she hit her own up, but not quite right what she wanted. Don't know if she got shot. I mean, Karen seemed to think that she was still holding, but if anything, it's close. And regardless, I'm again about jack high here, and all 4 bowls are short. And Karen's going to try and come, she's going to play forehand, try and see if she can get it between these 2 bowls here. But I don't know if it's going to turn. Weight's pretty good. Rita seems pretty sure that they're holding. Floor trying to shoot this gap, the same gap. She's got a better line. Inside half of that bowl. Might have pushed it out. Just way too heavy there. And turn the head over. Back over to Karen and Jane. Just way too heavy. She was a healthy 3 yards through there. Karen's going to stick with the forehand, trying to play between the two whites. See if she can get her line. White was not bad. Just needs to get a better line here. Yeah, better line there. It's still about 2.5 feet through. Fleur really needs to ease up on the accelerator here. Still pretty hefty here. And still a couple yards through. Now, Karen, you got the line. Now drop just a touch of weight. Just a little weight off. Yeah, she actually added a couple feet. That kind of splits the difference between those two back bowls, so that's not, not terrible. Better than coming up, a couple yards short or something. Floor really needs to take a couple yards off. She's been 2-3 yards through on the first couple. And I think this is going to be something similar unless she hits something. This looks pretty hefty too. Just really having trouble with this kind of shortish length. Just can't seem to adjust. If anything, that was heavier than the last one. Karen looks like she's got a good one. She looks like she's made the adjustment here. That's a pretty nice bowl. Just a bowl short. Floor wanted to, I don't know, it just needed to have a look, I guess, to see how far through she's been with all of them. Okay, here's Floor. She's still got a draw. It's still wide open. She just needs to take the pace off. She's just been really heavy. And she's heavy again. I don't know if she's just trying to drag the jack all the way through or hit the shot bowl or what. But she's just blazing at it. I mean, that hit a bowl and went all the way through. Just like the wheels have fallen off or something. Unless they're just thinking everything's got to be a drive and you got to attack everything. All right. I think it's probably 2 right now for Billon and Blair. Probably still looking like they're going to go, Jane's going to go this forehand. Just probably coming right to Karen's. Looking pretty good here. A little touch on it. Yeah, it's a nice bowl and puts that in a great spot. That's a great bowl by Jane. I don't know if it was 1 in, 1 out, but it could be 3, and that one's in a really good spot for this late in the game. And we're just having to try and play something with this narrow hand. Yeah, just kind of floating a little too far through. It'll be interesting. I assume Jane's going to keep coming on the... Well, let's see. She might switch over. But she's been playing this forehand. This side, she's been played real well all day, really. And she's going to do it again. And looks like really good weight control by Jane. This is another beautiful, beautiful shot. on a toucher. Great bull there. The only thing is, it's a front toucher, and they've got no position. If Rita slams it, it hits that blue bull, knocks it away the back, it's going to turn this match all the way around. I don't know how she's going to get to it, though, but she's giving it a shot. No. And if she could have hit that bull, then the jack would have flown to the back, and it would have been 4, probably. As it is, it's going to be at least, I think, 3, probably 4. Maybe 5. They've got 3 out, 4 out. Now they're going to have a look. Four it is. So 4 for Billon and Blair. They're going up 5 now, up 17-12. After being down 8-1, now they're up 17-12 going home. And it's just been the draw. They've been drawing much, much better in the second half of the game. After they got that 4 on the 5th end when things were looking like they were going to slip away. And they drew it better. And then forced Greenberg and Wright to start stabbing. And then they were missing. And then they got a 4. And it just kind of been a lot of that. It's been a lot of that this whole game. And Jane made some key conversions here and there when they needed to, but a lot of it is, I haven't seen a lot of conversions after this, after those first few ends. So and Jane's trying to tell Karen, just draw to the tee. Jack's probably maybe a couple feet in front of it. Try and get a better look at it here. Pretty good opener by Karen. Just both Karen and Jane have just really their game has just gone way up in the last half for sure, and it's shown. Their draw game is just much, much better. They've been way out playing Reed and Floor. Reed and Floor, who really were lights out the first 6 ends or so, playing really well drawing, and then it just is nowhere near what Karen and Jane have been doing. On the whole, of course. All right, here's Floor. The wind's still been consistent. I don't think the conditions have changed dramatically from what I've seen. Just don't do anything different, Karen. You just want kind of the same thing. Just finish right behind. You got a 5-point lead. Short's not going to help you. Yeah, just kind of not bad. Another bull in the head, but it's a healthy 4 feet short. So, Floor really shouldn't be short here at all. It really needs to be kind of up and through and in. Anything between the jack and the ditch is much better. You need to try and make something happen and try and get a 5. This is a good bull here by Floor. I'd like to see this. That's very nice. Well done there. Great bull by Floor. Floor kind of shaking her head like, oh, where's that been all day? Where's that been over the last 6 ends? And again, I think really it was just when they played short, it was really, Floor couldn't seem to find it. She was just really kind of blazing like 2 or 3 yards through. Now they've gone a little longer here, and it's kind of a little bit more of a comfortable range for Floor. All right, being down 1 is not the end of the world for Jane, holding a 5-point lead. I think they really just kind of want to play through the head. You can play this as a jack or bull shot with no problem, because Karen set you up with a couple nice seconds, including one right behind. And I assure you that jack is not going forward. Yeah, it's just, she'd be better off adding 2 more yards to that one. Okay, here's Rita. I'm looking to have some stunning bowls here to try and make it interesting. And here it is. Look at this. What a beautiful shot there. And a toucher. So that's 2. And they need 5. Jane should probably be attacking this. They've got the position behind just to have something a yard through. And it's a jack's going to spring back. That's really what you want to cover, is anything behind, something behind, through the head, behind the head. Because that's where the jack's going. Yeah, being off center and a yard short is not helping. See if Rita can do it again. Just want it to come all the way up and sit on those 2 bulls would be fine. Well, that's floors that she's hitting. That might be 3. Yep. Karen says it's 3. Again, it's still an attacking head. Jane should be in no real danger to hit her own bull that's behind. So she really needs to kind of be positive and trying to get to that little pile of 2 bulls if she can. This looks a little more positive. She's played the positive bulls on this hand really well. And she's done it again. Chipped one out. It's great. And given themselves a back bull. That's a very, very good bull. This Reed and Floor need 5, and they had 3, and now it's down to 2. And they don't have a lot of bulls to go. Rita kind of took a little weight off and took too much. Now I could see Jane can afford to be positive again if she wants. They do still have the position. And to me, I'd like right where Karen's bull is. Just drawing to Karen's bull is a good target, I think. That one that's just a couple feet behind. Just kind of slipping in that gap between the 2 bulls, hopefully getting the jack. It's okay. It's behind. It's in play. Best back. Hasn't changed the head. Rita's last one of the day. Trying to see if she can get this count back to 3 here. Give them a chance. That's kind of got wrecked on the side there. Well, now it's I don't really see. I'm trying to see how Rita and Floor can try and get a 5. I do have 2, but there's just a lot of seconds. I think the best thing for Karen and Jane is just to try and draw. Don't do anything crazy. They've got position in the back. They've got it in the far back and the immediate back. They got things on either side. Not a whole lot of danger. I think it's just draw and just play it out. And even on the head, they can't get to 5 by drawing 2 because it's only 2 now with 2 to come and nothing that's promotable. So I think it's just draw 2 and then be ready to shake hands. All right, here's Karen's first. Yeah, pretty good. Didn't touch anything. Kind of covering that corner, but again, not that there's any real danger there. Floor's got 2 and really kind of no chance here. Anything, it's just trying to maybe draw 2 and get a couple plus points. Okay, here's Floor trying again. It's a pretty good effort. Don't want to touch the jack. Okay, she moved a little. Trying to see. I think it's yeah, just 2 down now. How this is going to get to 5, but I think it might be better served for her to come on the other. Nope, she's going to stick with this hand. Just trying to play through everything. It's a pretty good effort. She slips that bull. Yeah, it's a nice bull there, kind of in the way with her other one. Floor's going to have a look-see how she's going to make this 5. She did kind of flick the jack over to a favorable spot, but there's just not a lot that she can try. There's just not enough bulls in that area to try and make it 5, so. But I think she was wanting to have a look just to see. All right, last bull of the day. But Billon and Blair are going to win this over Greenberg and Wright. Just a question of how much by. It just kind of flew it all the way through. So it should be 2. They're going to look to be sure. I mean, I don't think it's going to be more. I mean, maybe you get 3, but. We're just trying everything she can to. Let's call it 2. And so it's 2 for Greenberg and Wright, so they'll drop it to Billon and Blair, 17-14. Thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time. My thanks to Gary Barnes. My thanks to Floor Wright, who came by. My thanks to Steve Narmontes for the camera. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Again, thank you for watching and subscribing. And